Yo guys, what's up? It's Cam back at you again. Today I bring you another lick of the week. It's back after what feels like a year. Anyway, it is a lick in the style of Paul Gilbert. They are some arpeggio triad type things, which are absolutely pant-wetting if you play them in public. Anyway, without further ado, let's do this. Alright then, before we get started, just to let you know, I'm in standard tuning, and we're going to be playing most of this in the key of C sharp. Anyways, where we're going to be starting is in the, well, it feels like a simple pentatonic shape to begin with. So what you've got there is if you skip over from the high E string, so you start off in the pentatonic shape, 12, 9, then you go to 13 on the G there, 13 on the G, and then 9 on the E, and then 11 on the D. You've basically got the, what I think in musical terms is a triad. Basically it's an arpeggio, and what you can do with this, because this kind of string skipping idea lends itself to a load of different sequences, and the one I'm going to be showing you today is this one. I'm just going to play a faster tempo for you, then we'll break it up. So. Etc. So here's the way this works. What we're going to be doing is we're going to I'm going to break this up in chunks, and I expect you to keep watching it back and following along. So what we're doing here first is we're skipping over from the E to the G, basically completing the triad. Then we go back on ourselves, back to where we pretty much started. Okay, so that's what you should have so far. So okay, then what we do is a little repetitive sequence which goes like this. Then we complete the triad again. So what you should have so far is this. It's quite difficult to explain as a teacher. It's very difficult to explain, so you're better off, I think, watching me play it slowly. So. That's what you should have so far. And then moving on to the next part, we have you very, very quickly sort of move back through the triad again, but with a different sort of idea, which is. And what you do there is you pull off, so you pick downwards on the 11th of the D. Then hammer on and pull off on the high E there. So if you note there, I'm using upstrokes on the D and the on the G and the high E as well. So then you come back through the triad again. stop on the the G string there on the ninth. And there's where it gets really, really fiddly, especially if you're new to this sort of thing. Poor Gilbert, as part of his style, he's learned to marry up his pinky and his ring finger, and these two fingers are in love. They never want to leave each other. So literally it's just rather difficult to master this next part if you're new to it, and trust me, it was very fiddly for me when I was learning how to do this. What you do is you flatten your finger, and you have to make sure you've got your palm muting absolutely spot on for this. But anyways, what we're doing is, after we've swept back, well, not sweep picked, but swept back through the triad in a sense, is you then, with your, you introduce some new notes here, which is the 11th on the G string, and then there will be an 11th on the high E string. So, and you flatten that, mute it with your palm, and upstroke with the pick on the 11th of the high E. Then here's where it gets difficult. You then, what you're doing is your pinky intervenes on the 12th fret of the B string, and once you've fretted on the 12th fret with the on the B string, you then perform a pull off onto the 9th of the B string. So that's. And then that's the sequence complete. So then what you should have so far is this. Then you go back into the sequence again. That's the whole round of the sequence. Moving on, we then go on to another sequence in these triads. However, this one is the same sequence but applied to multiple arpeggio shapes. And it is this sequence. So to start with, it feels like any normal triplet shape, but of course you're string skipping again with the D, the G, and the high E strings. But this one is an E major arpeggio. So what we're going to be doing is so that's the sequence. Upstroke, pull off, pick, and then pull off again. So what you should have is this. Then here's the tricky part of this lick. When you're on the 14th of the D string, you then skip back up to the high E string. So here's what you should have. Then you do like a double pull off in a sense on the G string here. Now some more finger flattening, which means you've got to incorporate a lot more palm muting than you normally would for a lick like this. So here's what you should have so far. Then you go back into a very similar pattern to what you've just been learning on the other shape. And then you're going to be moving this very same sequence you're going to be moving it onto the other shapes, and the other shape that is going to be performed next is an F sharp shape, which is exactly the same shape you've just been doing up here but in a different place, which is really, really nice to know. Okay, here we go. My bad. Get that really strong vibrato that you've been practicing for years on the last note there. And then what we're going to be doing is moving on to another shape. This is the fiddliest shape of them all, and it is a diminished shape. So keep watching that back, keep going through it, and then to round off the lick is some very nice alternate picking string skipping, which is... That has been the lick. So what you should have so far is this. One thing to note out is that before I move on to the next shapes, I do a full step bend on the 12th fret of the B string. And bend it up very slowly until you reach the full tone. And then move on. And that's been the lick. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you like what you've seen. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this lesson. I'd really love it to know your thoughts on what's going on. Anyway, thanks very much for being a very loyal subscriber. Since Robert Baker promoted me back in the start of October, I've gained so many subscribers thanks to him. And then all of a sudden I've gone quiet, and it's basically I've been really knee deep in my music business degree. I've been absolutely loving it, but I've been finding it really difficult to juggle all of these musical things all at once. Anyway, I will be back with more coming towards the end of the year, and I really can't wait to get down to it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Okay.